Once again, I want to thank you all for entering into the contest. This new contest that we're starting, we're going to be giving away all kinds of different things. It's going to be based on subscribership, not by comments. So subscribe, 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 subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more things we're going to give away, and it is going to be awesome. This story comes to us from Bill Holter. The circus we call the election process. As a rule, I try not to comment all that much on politics because it's such a polarizing topic. No matter what I could say, one way or the other, politics will turn some normally placid folks into rabid trolls. That said, we are witnessing now has never happened before in our lifetimes, and is not even about the candidates. It's about the survival of our republic. Immediately after turning on the business news this morning, I heard an interview of a Republican National Committee member talking about rules. I did not catch who it was, but the essence of the interview was it did not matter who had the most votes or delegates. The Republican committee would choose the candidate if no one had the majority leading into the convention. He was questioned with the the will of the people doesn't matter? To which he answered, and I will paraphrase in my own words as I understood, it doesn't. It doesn't matter who the people vote for, and we will even overturn a majority if we see fit. The Republican Party will choose their candidate for the good of the Republican Party. As an aside, John, buddy, can you spare a Kleenex? Boehner endorsed Paul Ryan for presidential nominee. Not sure I would have voted for him, but I do not recall his name on the ballot. Upon further searching, the interview can be found here. Voters don't pick nominee, we do. GOP official. All I can say is, in your face, we make the rules, you don't even matter. Please understand this is filthy. This is fully the tricks, sleight of hand, and outright lying as to our country's condition not working anymore. The primary voting on both sides show an electorate where a large percentage of the country has woken up in anger. It doesn't matter if the average guy does not know exactly what is wrong. She knows it is something. Reality is so bad the machine can no longer hide it, and the boiling point is being reached. The election looks to me as if it is going to be a referendum of the average guy versus the establishment. The danger, of course, is if enough average guys have their votes ignored, they will rail against the machine. The way I see it, the upcoming election will be about the establishment retaining the control and ability to continue bilking the system, or the populace rising up and taking the power back. You might ask, what does this have to do with finance or economics? I'm in no good particular order. It has everything to do with economics and finance. Whatever happens will certainly affect the dollar. The currency of any nation is the equivalent of its common stock. Future policy will affect the dollar as well as how foreigners view what happens. Interest rates, stocks, real estate, everything imaginable will be affected. It does need to be said that no matter who wins or loses, the system is already toast, and only timing may be altered. Most importantly, I do believe the only difference between who wins and who loses will dictate how quickly or severe the elimination of our civil rights and civil liberties will be. In my opinion, we are actually watching a circus that no fiction writer could have dreamed up. On one side, we have a socialist communist running against an apparent felon. On the other side, we have a populist who says whatever he cares to, as long as it's something the people are thinking, running against a hardened conservative that no one in the establishment Washington likes. The odds favor a Clinton-Trump matchup. I would ask a couple of questions. What will the response be if Hillary Clinton is indicted? A really far-out question would be, what if she is somehow pardoned and allowed to run? On the other side, what will happen if the nomination is taken away from Mr. Trump? Or better yet, what if it is taken away from both Trump and Cruz and instead given to a preferred candidate? The most comical thing I can think of right now is future debates between Hillary and the Donald. Before finishing, it needs to be said, the old adage, it doesn't matter who you vote for, it only matters who counts the votes. It's probably quite true right now, more than ever. Because of the financial backdrop, I wonder whether or not we will even have an election. If the financial system were to come down prior to the election, which I believe is likely, we would have an election under martial law conditions. Financially, our fate is carved in stone, in my opinion. How we navigate, survive, or perish with or without our civil liberties is in question. As I said at the beginning, I hesitate to write on this topic, excuse me, because my email box explodes with hatred. As an admission, my candidate of choice was Ben Carson. Was he the most qualified? No. Was he establishment or even a politician? No. Did he have any experience in government? No. In my opinion, Ben Carson is an American with his country's best interests ahead of his own or anyone else's. He believes in God and Christian values. Whether real or not, the world would be a pretty cool place if everyone got along and acted as Christ did according to the Bible. Mr. Carson was my choice because, as I see it, our inalienable or God-given rights have been frittered away and are on the cusp of losing them altogether. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I view him as a man of respect for everyone and their individual rights, not someone who wants control through handouts. I can only pray that we as a nation can find our way back in time when neighbor helped neighbor and self-reliance and accountability for one's actions not only meant something, but was expected. No matter the outcome, this next election will be historical. Standing watch, Bill Holter, Holter Sinclair Collaborations. Lucid comments welcome. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep stacking.